What is going on, guys? My name is Jericho, and guess what? Today's Real Talk, and this one's actually super real. Not that the other ones aren't real. I'm just saying, I've been thinking about this, and it's been bothering me for like a couple weeks now, and that's rare for me, and I don't know why, and I have no explanation, and this is not going to make a lot of sense, and it's going to be a lot of ideas hobbled together, but realistically, what I'm kind of worrying about, and it's a bad habit, don't get into it, is worrying about the future. And there's a bunch of reasons why, and I'm going to outline them all. And I'm going to try and do it with a good, concise point. So basically, I've been getting down into just thinking about what's the next step, both for me and for gaming as a whole and the industry, both Twitch, YouTube, etc. Like, what's the next step? And a lot of people that are in the same industry as me have similar thoughts, similar ideas of where things are going to go. And I wanted to share those with you, which is going to help you understand why I've been having some like existential crisis meltdown red alert shit. And also I should preface this by saying anytime I make a video like this, people are like, damn dude, I think you're quitting. No, it's just, I think about this stuff a lot, and this long last 3 weeks of this has been bothering me. So let's get down into it. Why do I think that there's going to be a change or a shift? Well, Twitch has historically followed YouTube just 2 years behind. What do I mean by that? Well, YouTube with gaming, and I guess vlogging is now its biggest thing, but with YouTube and gaming, we saw the rise and fall of basic commentaries with low effort. We saw which were like podcasts. We saw the rise and fall of people doing giveaways for likes, for gaming the algorithm. We saw channels that relied on replying to other channels, also known as reply girls. We saw those rise and fall. We saw general subsets of YouTube grow and shrink over the last 8 years of doing this. And I've been noticing the same trends with Twitch, where we've seen, people who can just hop on and stream with no face cam, with the rare exception of some that are already established. We've seen those kind of go by the wayside. Now it's pretty hard to make a channel successful just by sheer, from scratch, not from like an existing YouTube, just by sheer entertainment value without your face in the game. Moon's the most recent one that I noticed, but I mean, Lyric obviously, and for the longest time, nobody knew who, what's his name is? What's his fucking name? Nightblue? No. Yes? No. The Gosu. Nobody knew what Gosu looked like, and he never even used a microphone. But that, I find, is not really a thing that could ever happen in the current climate, unless you got some significant help or you were just some unbelievable lucky cause. I've noticed that there are no longer a lot of people doing sub giveaways where for every sub you get this. We saw that happen with Counter-Strike skins a lot. We saw that happen with other shit. We've seen the rise and fall on YouTube of sketchy advertisers, and it's finally happening on Twitch. No longer are people peddling like weird snake oil, well, that's actually not true. People are still doing some weird shit, but the brands are getting more comfortable with Twitch like they were with YouTube, and you're starting to see larger brands, a lot of whom I've worked with, come into the space, and that's dope. But I'm just saying, you see a maturing of the space over time, and it relates a lot to the way YouTube was growing. Now, here's my problem, and here's where it starts, is that YouTube is really heavily pushing content that is premium. They're pushing TV shows, they're pushing highlights of sports, they're pushing high production quality, not your boy in your room shit. They can't stop people from watching Logan Paul and Jake Paul and vlogging and all this stuff, but YouTube as a whole platform is really pushing these topics. And it makes sense. Why? Because these ones are the ones that sell premium ads. Traditional media is great at doing that. Believe it or not, you guys probably know this. So like Jimmy Kimmel's going to get great ads on his YouTube video too, because everybody already knows what they're in for. And I've noticed that, it's really not that easy anymore to get from start to sustainable income level on YouTube unless you are doing something like this. That's not bad. And I should also say this. It's not bad that quality is getting raised in order to, make the platform more attractive. I'm just stating a trend that I've noticed that negatively impacts a lot of the people I see on Twitch now. It impacted a lot of YouTubers when they started changing the algorithm not to favor some of the videos that these people are making. It made a lot of sense to me that Twitch would be doing the same thing. And then Twitch got bought by Amazon. And Amazon, who has Amazon Video and a lot of their own services, has already done live streaming of their shows And people sit there and they voted on it. The Tick, which is a new Amazon series. I see ads all the time for that. Doesn't look that great, by the way. But I can't remember if I liked it or not when I watched their premiere thing. But they did 3 shows back to back to back, and users voted on which one they wanted to see become a series. And it fucking happened. You don't think that, like, you know, Yuri on Ice and the whole anime week was a trial run? Crunchyroll streamed anime 24/7, like back to back to back, not even sporadic episodes, like full things for like 4 days. And it was one of the top watched channels on Twitch. It makes logical sense that Twitch will go into a live sporting or live event hosting, which they've already done with Ultra, and it's been a success. It makes sense that Twitch is going to be the home for, you know, Amazon Prime Video stuff. And it's only a matter of time, in my opinion, before Amazon, which would be dope, hey, check me out, I want to do this because I missed out on YouTube, when Amazon comes in with $1 million and says, give us 20 content creators willing to do whatever it takes with this $1 million to make high-quality content. YouTube did it. Philly D got it, and he made SourceFed. There's quite a few other people that got that, but Philly obviously is the one that I know the best. So I think that makes sense. Now, why does that worry me? Now that we're 5-6 minutes into the video and I've just been bitching about, not even bitching, I've just been explaining the trends in both YouTube and Twitch and why I think things are trending that way. Well, because what's next for Twitch? What's next for me as a content creator? If I'm not capable of keeping up with the trend of pushing your content to the next level, although I don't really know how much next level I can get in a booth, but, you know, doing something that's outside the box where, you know, you're doing a cooking show or you're doing a music show or whatever, if there's a limit to that for me, then I feel like a lot of channels like myself will not be able to sustain themselves. And I'm, by the way, talking like 4 years down the line here, okay? I'm just making a statement. Don't get worried. That a lot of channels that are currently pretty stable, anybody actually between like the 2,000 viewer mark and like the 300 viewer mark, those channels are going to be the most impacted. You know, Lyric and Doc and those guys, they have a great setup, and it's hard to believe that they could do anything to knock themselves out of that pedestal unless they were crazy racist or something. I don't know, but apparently that doesn't matter. Either way, the middle section of Twitch that makes a living off of Twitch but is not you know, one of the top streamers, those guys are going to be affected by it. And it makes you start thinking about the next step. Like, where do you go if something happens on Twitch? Here's where immediately you should stop worrying if you're thinking about, like, the future. When you're going into your ifs on your if statements, does that make sense? When you've already made a hypothetical situation and then you're like, so if that happened, then what if this happened? That's fucking 2 levels deep. You're going to worry yourself. But I've been thinking about it a lot. That's why I'm making this video. What happens if there's a major shift on Twitch's platform which guts the entire middle to lower section of Twitch? So you only have people who broadcast for fun and people who, you know, to like 20 or 50 or 100 or 300 people, and then people who make a living off of Twitch with premium content up on the top. You know, what happens? I think that we're going to see a lot of people who were formerly Twitch streamers try and stay in the gaming industry. And I think there's going to be a mass amount of people, all with the same set of skills, trying to get into game dev or community management or PR or agencies, or, you know, advertising, etc. And I'm one of them. And that makes me worried. It makes me worried because I feel like there's a bubble that could be popped, which would just shit on everything. And it would make sure that, you know, the world of gaming as we know it would have some weird influx of people into the market, and then it means that it's harder to get a job. And that's where I'm like, damn, you know, I hope that things continue along a slow and steady pace and everybody starts planning for their futures. I've seen a lot of Twitch content creators or Twitch and content creators fucking up with finances. You know, they're not doing a good enough job of understanding that what we have is a temporary. You know, the best NFL players maybe have a, you know, 10, 15-year career if they're outstanding, and that's the end. And then they have to do a pundit job, or they have to, you know, they have to go out and teach, or they have to coach, or they have to live off of what they've already made. The best musicians have lifetime careers, but very, very, very often, and I think about this a lot, by the way, you'll have somebody who has like 4 or 5 good songs falls off. You know, you think Kesha is doing fine? Probably. You know, I heard she was a smart girl, but like, do you think that there are a lot of people out there that are in entertainment positions that do very well for themselves for 3 or 5 or 7 years, and then they're unable to maintain the lifestyle afterwards because they were living at their means? And it worries me to see all of these kind of potential issues in the future, and a lot of people without general skills for the workplace, myself included. I haven't held a real job, quote unquote, in years, and a lot of these people also not doing a good job of living below their means, living under what they could be living at, so they're planning far enough ahead in the future. That's what's got me anxious, guys. All of this shit. I'm sorry that it took 10 minutes to get to the point, but like, I've been thinking a lot about the future of myself too, and when's the correct moment if you are going, it's, by the way, still talking about 4 years, 3 years down the line, where's the correct moment as a content creator for you to bow out and get yourself into a real job, you know? Is it when you're no longer enjoying yourself, but you're scraping by? Is it when you're doing just fine, so you still have like clout in the industry? You're like, hey, I'm still relevant. You should totally give me a job here and let me prove myself. Because everybody knows it's a lot easier, and this is just life. It's a lot easier to get a job or get somewhere if you hold relevancy in that industry. If you're like, yo, 5 years ago I was the tits, they're gonna be like, great, cool, get in line. But if you're like, I'm the tits right now, you want me? And they're like, well, yeah, let's go. And if you do that, you know, is it going to be worth, you're always going to be sitting there thinking, man, what if? But is it going to be worth the what if statements? Like, I personally don't think I could ever bow out before I ran my shit into the ground. I got too many ideas, man. By the way, if my gaming Twitch and shit starts to fuck up, I'm gonna do Let's Plays, and if Let's Plays don't work, I'm gonna do cooking and life, like fucking, I'm gonna do cooking shows and stuff, and if that doesn't work, I'll make Instagram skits. I don't know, but I got too much shit that I want to do. And I'm just curious. I'm curious what you guys think. Like, where's the line? That's like 4 topics in one. The future of Twitch and how Twitch compares to YouTube. Content creators being affected by that what if. Where you gonna go afterwards if you have to. And life advice on saving and planning for the future. You guys are great if you sat through this. Thank you. That felt good to talk about. I also wanted to talk about this with a couple other people in my industry, see where they think things are going, if they think similarly with me. So I've been talking to a lot of people about it, and it's just interesting. And it's also cool to think about, and it doesn't hurt. But I should stop being worried about it. I feel better already. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to be uploading a fuck ton of Evil Within 2, and then I'm going to be doing some more CSGO shit. See you guys at TwitchCon, and I love your faces.